When I'm not playing The Lost Eye of Thundera on my Commodore Amiga 500, I love nothing more than cruising Third Earth in the Thunder Tank, listening to Aaron and John on the Amigos podcast. Thunder, 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 Thundercats! Ho!
Hi everybody, welcome to Amigos. I'm John.
And I'm Aaron.
And today we're going to be talking about Zany Golf.
Ooh, it's zany.
It's so zany.
It is. It's, man.
What's the zaniest game of golf you can remember?
Oh boy. You know, me and the boy just went and played some miniature golf a couple weeks ago.
You go over to the Jeans Greens for that?
I don't know what that is. We go over to the batting cage joint.
Yeah.
Is that what that's
Jeans
called?
Greens.
And here's what was zany about it. It was 100 degrees when we played, and so it got zanier as the golfing went on because we were parched, dehydrated. We were out in cement in an unsheltered, super death maze of golf. I had a good round.
I will say there's not much shade on that course.
There's zero shade. And they used to have a little water thing running through it. Dry. We're not paying for that in West Virginia. You just spit in that thing full of water.
That course isn't really noticeable for its interesting hazards. There's no windmills.
No.
There's no cuckoo clocks.
It's as generic a golf course as you can make. It's nice. It's not greatly maintained. It's okay. I've seen worse. But there's no.
It's not as bad as the one over the wave pool. That one was.
Is that still there?
They tore that down finally. That was in rough shape.
Well, that's because they were stupid and they didn't take care of it.
Yeah.
If you don't take care of your stuff, it fails. So, but yeah, I do play a little miniature golf now and again. That's where I really shine. I'm a putter, not a lover. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I played some zany golf in my life. I played over in Thailand. I played some mini golf that looked like it was built on some sort of ancient ruins, like Machu Picchu or.
You mean like it was supposed to look like that, or it actually was?
Hard to say in Thailand. Hard to say. They might have just dug someplace up and said, "All right, let's make a mini golf course here." But I will say that my.
That's what they do over there.
That's what they do. Either elephant sanctuary or mini golf course. Those are your two options.
Or one and the same.
Yeah, but I haven't played any zany actual golf here recently. It's been real hot, and I've been real lazy. I mean, I've had a lot of sitting on the couch to do this summer, and I have to get to it. I have to get in my quota. Summer's almost over.
No, for me it's not. It never started. It's just this is hot work time and cold work times just over yonder.
Just around the corner. Just around the corner.
Yeah.
Is Luke ready to go back to school?
Oh no. He's a week away from Pokemon camp.
Ooh.
He's very excited about that.
And that's over at the Marshall, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But hey, while I'm thinking about golf, I was just thinking about what's the best golf movie you ever saw?
Well,
because there's plenty of them out there.
I haven't seen any of the good ones. I've never seen Caddyshack. I've never seen Tin Cup.
Okay.
I have
you're really narrowing the field here.
I have seen Billy Madison.
Okay.
So I guess I'd have to go with Billy Madison.
It does have its moments.
Bob Barker's in it.
The Bob Barker part's the best part.
Or Happy Gilmore, sorry.
Yeah.
Wrong
What did
Adam
you
Sandler.
say?
Billy Madison.
Yeah, that's what was at school.
Yeah. They're
That
all
one
the same.
sucks. Yeah.
Man, Adam Sandler. Whew.
What's that mean?
I saw that movie, the Netflix original with him and the girl from Friends.
Isn't that supposed to be a big deal?
Oh,
Like that was the
God.
big deal.
It was the worst thing I've ever seen in my
Really?
life. I was at my buddy's house and his wife wanted to watch it and he was, oh my God. I went to bed early.
What do you think about it?
She didn't like it either. He's really
I
not
watched another
a
one of
good
his
actor.
Netflix movies, and it was no good either.
Yeah, it's just not good.
Well, I mean, he tries. He's made so much money, who cares?
You're right,
You know?
right. I don't know why he's still doing anything.
I don't know either.
You know where I'd be? On my boat.
On the yacht with some other guy driving.
That's right.
But you'd still make him call you captain. That's what I would do.
That's the drill.
By the way, the correct answer, Caddyshack. Caddyshack, funniest golf movie.
Who's in that?
Are you
Jack
kidding?
Nicholson?
No, huh? No, what? Jack Nicholson? No. Caddyshack? It's got you've got Roddy Dangerfield in it, Ted Knight, right? Bill Murray.
I know him.
Yeah, well, yeah. You've got Chevy Chase.
Really?
Oh yeah, man. This is an all-star cast.
There's an animatronic gopher in it
There's
too,
a gopher
right?
in it. Kenny Loggins sings the little theme.
I like him.
I'm all right. And the gopher does his little gopher dance in the hole.
Is that where that song's from? Caddyshack?
Yeah.
Wow,
That's where that
okay.
song's from, man.
I like Kenny Loggins a lot.
Bill Murray's brother's in it. Believe it or not, he's in a lot of movies.
What's his name? Sully?
No, it's what is his brother's name? It's I don't know. I think they just call him the guy's brother. You know, it's a good flick though. I highly recommend you watch that. Plus, you can watch it. It's not real violent. It's not. Oh, the good-looking chick from Tron's in it. Whose name she plays Lacey Underall. I can't remember her name. She's great. She was great in Tron too. So I recommend it. You love Tron, right?
I do. I like Tron a lot. Still haven't seen Tron 2.
Tron 2 was pretty good. And I hate everything.
You've got that big Tron sticky wall thing at the arcade.
Tron 2 both of them had a great soundtrack.
Daft Punk.
Yeah, outstanding. One of my faves. Love it. If you're in the mood to do some serious hacking, you put that thing on, and then you start getting the war dialer going. Is that what you're singing?
I wasn't listening to you. I was singing Daft Punk.
I get that a lot. We should probably just keep going.
All right. Well, let's talk about what's been going on outside of the Aaron and John world and in the greater world of the Amigos in general, over at everythingamiga.com.
Are we going to touch base with the happenings, the goings on?
Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about the goings on and the happenings right now.
Oh, okay. Well, so the dream catches
No,
happenings?
I'm talking about Amigathon 2019.
That's what I thought it was. I couldn't tell. You didn't feed me well.
You're right, I did.
Put the food here.
I actually didn't realize what I was talking about until I came upon it.
Amigathon was a happening.
It was a happening. Let's check in with our latest and last final donation total of the year over to Amigathon.com. We raised exactly $3,200. So I want to thank...
Someone chipped in an extra $3 or $4 there to put us over the top.
You're talking to him.
Oh, good job, Boat.
I want to thank all of our donors. Let's see. They don't list how many donations we got. I want to thank our top donor, Amiga Bill.
Yay.
And
Thank you,
all
Bill.
of our sponsors, all of our donors, all the people that put games on the board. I got to tell you, this Amigathon was an experience like no other.
Oh, yeah?
I have not finished an Amigathon so happy and so content with life in the universe and everything.
You did seem less violently hate-filled.
You'll notice that I didn't physically push everyone out of the room as I did.
That was the birthday. That's what we all had to get violently shoved out. But yeah, your demeanor was a lot nicer this year without the 24 hours.
Yeah.
And we ended up going like 14 hours.
Yeah, we went a little extra.
So I mean, it's funny when you think about it, but it's different when you don't have to do it. You're like, okay, I can leave it any time.
Absolutely.
So
it was a great event. I was glad to do it. I'm looking forward. Do you have any breaking news about what might be happening in Thanksgiving that you'd like to share?
Well, Brent's going to unleash this news on the world.
Well, he's not on this show, so you may have to.
Well, I mean, I don't. Here's the thing. This is sort of his baby.
Okay, so he's not announced it on ARG Presents.
Okay, he hasn't told me yet.
Okay,
all right, is that what you want me to say?
Well,
I'm in the dark. This is a Brent gig, and he's got some diabolical plan for that. And so, but I don't. Do you think he talks to me? The second that show's over, he walks out the door. I don't see him until he shows up for next week.
Slams the door behind him.
That's it.
Yeah.
We have no personal relationship.
Well, that's sad, really.
No, he's an abrasive louse. You can't get around him too much.
Well, stay tuned for whatever that is.
Yeah, tune in this week to ARG for the big important announcement about whatever we're going to be doing.
Other big news, Aaron. Our YouTube channel. We finally crossed 2,000 subscribers.
$2,000.
So
I can't believe it.
It took us like 3.5 years to get to 1,000, and then it only took us like 6 months to get to 2,000. That means in 3 months we'll have 100 million subscribers, Aaron. That's what exponential means.
Is that how that works?
Compound interest. I know all about it.
I want you to be my accountant, Boat. Listen, $2,000, not bad, eh?
Not bad.
I mean, for what we're doing, I feel like it's a pretty good accomplishment there. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, go subscribe.
Yeah, even if you just listen to us on the podcast, on the audio version, go head on over our channel and give us a sub over there.
And click on the little bell, and it might do something.
It might notify you. Or you can be constantly disappointed when you are not notified.
You ever watch these YouTube videos and they're like, here's what they say. Like or subscribe today. Click on the notification button in the corner. That'll keep you updated on what we're doing at all times. And give us a thumbs up. They're angling. And I don't think we've ever said any of this.
I angle all the time.
We don't angle for thumbs up.
Give
or
us a
anything.
sub. Put us on in the background so we get extra
when did you
ad
angle
dollars.
that? I don't remember that.
No, that's what the real shady
Put us
guys
in the
do.
background?
Yeah, they say just leave our videos on all the time. Just let them run.
That seems sort of shady. Though.
It is very shady, and YouTube does not like it.
He said it. YouTube.
Let's talk about Dreamcatcher now, Aaron.
Okay, drink. Now we're ready.
Yeah.
Because we mentioned him, of course, during the Amiga-thon, since this sort of indirectly was his baby.
It was.
You know, Dreamcatcher was he started raising money for charity, and both thought it was a good idea, and there you go.
That's what happened.
You know, I was just thinking.
Oh,
go ahead.
Before you talk about what we were just thinking about, we need to give the audience a little update on a little thing I like to call the Amigo Aaron weight loss wager that was unveiled during Amiga-thon, because not everybody saw it.
Yeah, it's funny. Someone asked me about that on one of our ARG videos. The Amigo Aaron weight loss wager is over, and I suppose who won the wager? I guess I lost, but I sort of won. I guess charity won.
Yeah, charity's the real winner.
So of course I had to attempt to lose 100 pounds in a little over 6 months. A formidable task, which I was not up for, I'm afraid. But I gave it the Aaron college dropout try boat, and I managed to drop 51 big pounds by weigh-in time. I felt pretty good about that weight.
An admirable amount.
Thank you, both.
Admirable.
And so, of course, it was.
I mean, that's really 50 pounds is like 25% of your body weight.
Well,
so I mean, that's a huge amount. Don't try and do the math. Just go with it.
I just lop off an arm too. So of course it was a wager boat, and you know what that means. When you put your money in the down, you got to pay. And so I sent up a chunk of change to but it's money well spent.
Yeah.
To our good friends at the Children's Miracle Network. So the Amiga weight loss wager is now closed. It's over. It's done with. But I would like to at least lose another, let's say, 30 pounds by Thanksgiving to get under the 300 mark.
Man, just imagine.
And dwell somewhere where in the same area, the same time zone where normal people weigh. So that's the goal.
Well, you better buy a stick.
I don't know what that means.
If you get under 300 pounds, you're going to be beating off those women.
What? Wow, well worded, Boat. Yeah. So, I'm kind of gun shy with the women. probably two separate things. Let me concentrate on this.
Okay.
And worry about that.
Okay.
But thanks for everybody that's sending their money for the weight loss wager. That worked out pretty well.
Absolutely.
I think.
And we just got one final Amiga-thon donation in because I'm cashing out right after we do this show. Thank you, Retro Man Cave, for your generous $25 donation. He's in the chat. He's just throwing it in there.
Thank you, Retro. It jumped right in.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm glad it's over. It was hard work, but I feel better now.
Absolutely.
Losing the weight's great. I feel a lot better.
Good. Let's talk about side updates, Aaron.
Yes, sir. Now, as I was getting ready to say, the Dreamcatcher again, the man that has been with us from way back, one of our earliest buddies, and a heck of a man, and again, sort of the man that got us into the whole raising money for charity gimmick. He was a maniac, and since we didn't cover anything last week, I'm just gonna mention these, and I'm gonna try to guess what they're about because the names and stuff are written here. But I mean, I advise you to check these out, and we'll get back to our normal schedule next week. He's done so prolific an author that it's hard to keep up with his authoring. So we've got I think we may have covered this, but I can't remember. It's been so long ago. He's done an article on Home Alone. Did you ever see that?
Only about 1 million times.
Really?
Yeah.
Now that's got tons of violence in it. How'd you go and see that?
They used to play it at my daycare constantly.
Your daycare? You're lying.
I'm not lying. Just constantly.
There needs to be an Amigo Aaron's beat the hell out of boat challenge.
You think I'm joking, but I'm not.
I want to hope you're joking.
We watched it so often that we could quote the movie while it was going on. We just say every line.
Just the fact that you watch this at daycare fills me with a certain sense of pain.
The scene with the gangsters in the black and white movie, that I didn't like that. I didn't
too
like
scary
that
for
shot.
you?
Yeah.
Now, I did read this article. This next one here from the DK. He and this is just a little I don't know what he was thinking. You never know with him. He does some weird stuff. It's a little thing here about Techno Cop, and he did a video to the company, which I watched.
This is we hear about this game a lot.
Now I love Techno Cop. We covered this way back, didn't we? I don't
think we've ever done an episode on Techno Cop.
Well, someone will tell us. I thought we did. I love Techno Cop because it's ludicrous. It's a ludicrous, idiotic
Is it like
game.
RoboCop?
It's a cross between Road Blasters and, I don't know, Rolling Thunder or something.
Sounds pretty good.
Except it's a violent, I don't know what's, I mean, your guy has a net. You can net guys, or you can just shoot them. And when you kill them, instead of just kind of dying, they explode into this pile of guts.
I don't like that.
Oh, it's tasty. I recommend it. So anyway, go check that out.
Look at this. I'm looking at Techno Cop's arm here. He's got 2 choices.
See, the problem with the arm is that that thing extends and you can't actually straighten your arm. I mean, you can't bend your arm. So it's like, one of these.
It's a hard knock life being Techno Cop.
Well, listen. That's why he makes the big techno cash. So next, now this is another boat that we've played. He goes on to a little bit here about New York Warriors. You remember this? Sort of, it was like an Akari Warriors meets Escape from New York.
We did do this, yeah.
And hey, I like that game, to be honest with you.
This is based on the film The Warriors, right?
No, well,
sort of, right? It's like Gene Simmons meets The Warriors.
It's there are parts of it they've lifted it right out of the movie.
It's like Street Gangs.
Did you ever play that the game based on the Warriors that the Rockstar
No, but
did?
I heard it was good, right?
It was. And it's got all the iconic, like, Warriors come out to play, with all the bikes and all that stuff in it, But the movie, have you ever seen the film?
Do you think I'd ever watch that?
Yeah, because it's from the 70s.
It's tons of violence.
Stupid film.
It's all violent all the time.
There's a gang of guys that paint their, like baseball players, and they carry bats. Now, how intimidating is that?
Well,
here come the baseball guys.
It is. It's kind of like watching West Side Story, and you see all those graceful dancers as street gangs.
You've got a point there. Those guys, the Jets and the Sharks. How do I know that? I don't even know.
Because you were in band.
What's that to do with anything? We didn't do show tunes in there. So, next up on the docket here from the DK, No Teddy Bear's Picnic. This is a game, and I'd say I'm not familiar with this game. It's called Risky Woods, if you will. Dusty Road style.
I thought you were doing your Icky Woods impression.
That was my Icky Woods doesn't talk. He does the Icky Shuffle.
He talks while he does it.
What's he say?
That?
No, he doesn't. You've never heard him say one thing. Don't lie to people. Anyway, Risky Woods. You ever heard of it?
No.
I haven't either. But it looks
got a Genesis port.
It looks pretty good. I think. Okay, let me catch myself up here. So, let's go to Dynasty Wars boat. Giddy up, Jingle Horse. Pick up your feet. A Christmas notion for this violent-looking game. I've never heard of this either. Is this a beat 'em up? Maybe I think I had. No, I take that back. I've played.
Well, there's
this.
Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah, I've played Dynasty Warriors. I don't know what. I'm not exactly sure what in the hell
looks like this looks like a beat 'em up sort of ordeal. I think
I've played this. I think it's from the arcade.
Yeah.
I'm sure me and the boy have played, as we often will do. He's also got a gimmick here on The Strangers, another game. Guess what? I've never heard of. And this one looks like God only knows what the hell this is. Who knows? Again, you have to check this stuff out. There's so many of these. I didn't get to read them all. And lastly, actually 2 more. We've got a is cloning the future a pre-crime? I'm guessing you haven't seen the Tom Cruise
Minority Report?
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
You have seen that?
I watched it on a band trip, I think.
Really? So basically, you only see this stuff when you're forced to watch it.
Yes.
And what did you think of that one?
It was okay. I mean, it had all the...
Yeah, I could have done without those. This is a game called Motor Massacre Boat. Now, this sounds...
There's a lot of dystopian racing.
We've been doing this show for how long? If it's like 20, 30 years, how did we miss all these games?
I don't know.
Where the hell does he find this stuff?
We got a lot of games to cover.
If Dreamcatcher made up some screenshots and said, here's a game called, Poopy Destruction Wars, and I'd be like, well, there's another one.
Yep.
He could just literally, these could all just be made up by him. Lastly, You Can't Do the Magic is the final article. It just came out 2 days ago, and it looks like this one is on... Let me see what the heck this one's on.
Fuzzball.
Is that what this one's on?
Yep.
Now, Fuzzball, we've never looked at that either, have we?
No. These guys look like the Fury of the Furries guys.
He mentions that at the top. I'm like, what is this? So lots and lots and lots of good reading here from the DK. I'm going to be catching up over the weekend on this stuff because I read pretty much almost everything he puts out when I can, but we've been so busy over there with the Amiga-thon, I missed out on a ton of stuff. So a lot of good stuff there. What have you been up to video-wise this week, bud? I mean, you've been the man of men this week.
Well, I've had some free time now that Amiga-thon's over and I can breathe again. I've been thinking about some new ideas for streaming.
Yeah.
And so a couple things that I did was I decided to create a video series where I ranked all of the Amiga platform games.
Because you love them all.
Yeah, because I love them all so much. Starting with, you have to start with Zool. Zool is the first name in Amiga platforming.
He's the ninja ant who's not an ant.
Right.
He's also an alien. And he's
Absolutely.
fighting for the rights of other ants, but he's not an ant.
Exactly. So, my goal for this series is I'm going to play a game for about 20 minutes, kind of get the feel for it. And then afterwards, I'm going to go down to... Oh, geez, we got issues because my screen's all messed up because with the chat and stuff. But over here in the description, you can see I've linked to a spreadsheet where I have a list of criteria, and the game basically starts out with a perfect 10 and then gets docked either half or a full point for missing out on some things that I consider to be detrimental to the game.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
On Zool there, when I watched your video, you could not beat the first level in under 5 minutes. Did you come back and beat it in under 5 minutes?
Well, yeah, but before I left, I would say, okay, this is for real. I've gotten the hang of the controls. I'm going to go through it. I beat the first level in like 3.5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I watched that first. That was a pathetic attempt.
Yeah. Well, I was coming to grips.
I mean, if you stink, that seems unfair to the game.
Exactly. So I wanted to give it I'm giving all these games a fair shot. I'm hopeful that I'll be able to do honor to the Amiga platformer.
I love this series. It's now my favorite series. Just because what I like about it is that you'll be forced to play games I know you think are hot garbage.
That's true.
And I'll sit back with a popcorn and on the couch and just cackle at your antics.
Absolutely.
So just be yourself. Badmouth them.
I played some ZX Spectrum games. Started out with a little bit of a tic-tac.
No. Attic Attack.
I'm not calling it. That's dumb.
Attic Attack, not a Tick Attack.
After a Tick Attack, I played a whole bunch of Crystal Kingdom Dizzy.
Ooh.
This is a Dizzy game
that is.
It's a remake of a 48K Spectrum game that they remade for 128K with extra colors and music and stuff.
Snazzy. Okay.
And I got to tell you, I really enjoyed playing this game. I thought it was really, really good. I'm not the world's greatest Dizzy fan.
We hate Dizzy.
Yeah.
We've hated everything we've ever played.
But I'm starting to come around. I think that the Amiga titles are just so bad. They're so much worse than the Spectrum titles. I think because maybe they had less and less involvement, or maybe were less and less passionate once they got into the 16-bit era. But
different?
I really had a lot of fun with that. Well, yeah, because remember we played Treasure Island, we literally could not beat the first screen of the game.
Let me ask you, have you played that on the Spectrum? Maybe it just stinks all around. You know what I'm saying? Maybe
I don't think it exists on the Spectrum. I think it was a 16-bit only game.
Yeah, my Dizzy knowledge is it's not huge.
Yeah. So anyway, I had a good time. It's always a good time with the folks in the chat too, because they're usually a lot more knowledgeable about everything than I am. So.
Dizzy looks more nimble in this than Treasure Island.
Yeah, and Treasure Island, he's sort of geriatric.
He's doing backflips and crap. Remember now when you were insta-dead. That's like the game started.
Yeah, it was no good. So I played a little bit of that. Let's talk a little bit about the last episode of ARG you guys just filmed, Point and Click Adventures.
Yeah, that was were you surprised that we did that?
Well, I can tell you that, the whole rationale behind Brent's mouse or point and click game can be anything where you point and click. He described every mouse game that's ever existed because that's what you do with a mouse.
That's what I told him. I told him
that's dumb.
Yeah.
This is much better.
That's why I think he realized, well, we're just gonna. But yeah, I mean, no, he knows what he wants. But yeah, we did point and click adventure games, and it's funny because ironically, the point and click adventure game, Brent picked an NES game.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. Yeah.
But you do point, then you click. I mean, sort of.
This was my first exposure to Maniac Mansion. Was played on the NES. Everything that you guys talked about was true. It was a boon to the publishers because they released this game to a whole generation of people that were not PC gamers, and I enjoyed Maniac Mansion. I thought it was fun.
I played it on the PC, of course, back in the day, and then I picked Gabriel Knight 2 with the Beast Within, which is a title that seems to be lost in time, but I mean, some people remember it because I got a couple comments. But I mean,
I'd never heard of this game before in my life.
It's funny because so let me tell you my rationale. I own this game and I have that old PC. And so
that's Sour Man, right? Was that Christopher Lee?
No,
that's Christopher Lee.
That's not Christopher Lee. But anyway, so I was like, man, I remember loving this game.
Can't help loving that game of mine.
You know, and the funny thing is, the Gabriel Knight series, this is the only one that's video. The rest of them are just, the third one is, oh man, they try to use a 3D grade. It's not good. And so I thought, well, heck, I'm going to put this up here. And I really had a good time going back to it. Brent didn't like it as much as I did, but I thought it was fun. It's a real, as far as 4-motion video games on the computer, I think this is right near the top. I mean, it looks
very good.
There's still a game here, is my point, So, and it's an adventure game. And this is a long game. I mean, there's probably, like I said, the playthrough one, if you watch, it's like almost 10 hours. So there's a ton of video footage on this thing. So anyway, if you're into that sort of thing, come check us out. We had a real good time playing them, this week.
All right, moving right along with some other stuff that we've been up to. I started another series. I'm the man of starting mini-series.
Yes, you are.
This is a new thing I'm going to do whenever I feel like it, called Late Night Modern Gaming. This is when I start the stream way after the European folks have gone to bed, so I can't depend on too much chat action.
Did you get any chat
action? I got some chat action. We had some people, I think, Hasifa in Picard 2005, who's in Finland. So it was like 6 o'clock in the morning in Finland, and Picard 2005 was there. But I played. I decided to start things off with our buddy Michael Ryan's game, Luna and the Moonling.
Now, you'd had a cup of coffee with
I played the first 2 levels of this.
Yeah, me and Luke played the crap out of this, and we still pop it occasionally because Luke, of course, just dug it. And it's a very clever game. It's not normally, Bo, I don't touch these games with a 10-foot clown pole. But I did enjoy this one. It's endearing. The puzzles aren't like
mega hard.
It's not mega doom. It also, one thing it does is it lets you not suck. Then you're fairly confident. And then it actually begins making it slightly more difficult.
Absolutely.
It eases you in as opposed to just beating you with the
learning curve
hammer.
Is very good. Yeah. Very good. So
I like this series too.
Yeah.
I don't play any modern stuff hardly, so.
Well, I'm going to be playing some Dragon Quest 9. I'm going to be playing some Euro Truck Simulator. I got a whole slate of stuff. Just wait till you watch me drive through Belgium late at night.
Are you going to play that game where you drive the train? I like to see that one.
Train Simulator?
Yeah.
Oh boy, I need to get the controls for that.
I've watched video of guys playing that. That man, you can. It is beautiful.
It is. I love those things. Yeah.
I don't know if you play that stuff. What does that mean? I think that means
you're awesome.
That's not what I think it means. I think it means it's you're real close to drawing your retirement.
Hey. That would be great. I'd love to start drawing my retirement tomorrow.
Is there a Euro Truck Simulator add-on where you could take a Ferrari, just tear down the streets and just run over people?
Possibly.
That's what like a Carmageddon mod. I'd be in.
I think you just want to play Carmageddon.
That's true.
Yeah. So I played Zany Golf, a little bit of Zany Golf. So
I've heard of that.
If you're into that, you're watching this podcast already. And I think that's it. That's pretty much all I did.
You went to work.
So. Yeah.
Nice job, dude.
Let's talk a little bit about what's been going on in the world of Amiga news, Aaron.
Amiga news. I'll do it this time.
Thank you. The Belgium Amiga Club is active and ready for your participation.
Look at that gimmick right there.
Yeah, so this is the Amiga 1200 Plus. This is a re-implementation of the Amiga 1200 board that this guy basically, he looked at the schematics of the original 1200 board. He said, this is crap. I'm going to do it better. So this is different than the thing that we talked about a couple months ago, or maybe even a couple years ago, the thing that Figgy has, which is it's basically a recreated 1200 board that's exactly like the original 1200 board. This one it's got stuff that nobody likes taken off, and it's got stuff that people do like put on. So you can check it out here. This is a rendering of the final product. Looks really cool. I like when they make circuit boards in different colors.
I too looked at these schematics for the Amiga 1200 one time, and I looked them over. I scratched my head, threw them down, and ate a Twinkie. That was the extent of my project.
I do that a lot.
I call it Operation Give Up.
Just right off the bat.
That's it. I was done.
Next up, we talked about our Amigathon news, so we'll skip right on over that. And this is the last thing. Our buddy Retro Ravi Abbott. He has got a classic Amiga mix coming up in just a couple days on the 27th of July. Tune in to his YouTube channel, and he's going to be spinning some classic Amiga tunes on his pair of 1200s with the mixer in the middle. He's got the headphones. He's putting his hand up to the side like
That's
DJs.
what they do.
That's how you know you're a real DJ. If you got hand up to the ear cup, man, hand up to the ear cup.
Yeah.
I need a shirt with that on it right now.
Yes, there it is. You know, I can't wait. Now this is the 27th. That's at 3 p.m.
It's live in 20 hours, less than 1 day away.
Oh, neat. You know, while we're talking about YouTube, I got to touch on a couple that just popped in the past day or so.
Okay.
Our buddy 10 Minute popped
Has
the
he
video
put another one up there?
Yeah, and it looks like it was another in his series of helping out the dummies. And guess what? King Dummy was pleased. I raised my dumb guy scepter in approval. And our buddy Retro Man Cave put up an interesting video today on FPGAs. Now, you know, I don't have one of them, and amazingly, you haven't bought one. I mean, I'm surprised that neither one of us have one of those things.
Especially since you got that Atomic Pi. I figure the FPGA is just one step away from that
Atomic
craziness.
Pi, $35. FPGA, like $200.
That's true. The jump in dollars is way high.
And so, anywho,
but it's called the Mister.
No, they've got there's a variety of these things. But anyways,
the one I once called the Mister because that's a cool name. It's a mist with ER.
He mentions that they've got Amiga, the Amiga core, because that's what they got the cores. The Amiga core is in pretty good shape.
The cores.
You know,
they're from Ireland.
It looked cool. You know, what do you think about these? I mean, is this their time? Because one thing I always wonder about these, and I even mentioned it in a comment, is like, where does the when emulation is straight up compared with these things? Because everybody said the FPGAs they say they're the exact simulation of the hardware, right? Then you've got emulation, right? For if I can see if you're a programmer or a real heavy duty player. I mean, I don't mean game player. I mean just a guy who's really into it,
like with an A at the end.
Right. But if you're just like Scrub McDoofus like myself, and you're like, I want to play some Lionheart today, and am I going to load up the Amiga emulator, or I'm going to load up the Mister or whatever? Is there going to be enough of a difference there to make me give a crap? You know what I mean? To pay the $200? That's the $1 million question. But anyway, I thought it was interesting the way that he went over it. He does spell it out. He literally tells you how the chip works. You know, I mean, I didn't know. Are you kidding me?
Field programmable gate array.
I mean, I saw the charts and stuff, and I'm still, I mean, I vaguely know.
Here's the advantage to me, okay?
Yeah.
So you've got this box.
You got a box.
Okay? You got a box that's sitting underneath your TV.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
You've got a series of SD cards. Okay?
I like it.
Okay? You've got them in a cool-looking wallet. Okay?
Yeah.
And each of them, written in black Sharpie, is the name of an operating system.
That's it, right?
Okay?
I got it.
So you want to play, I don't know, MSX. You take out the MSX SD card, you pop it in the Mister, you flip it on. It's like you're playing the real thing.
That's it.
There's no outer shell of Windows. You don't have to watch the XP logo appear on the screen briefly and then go away. You know, you don't have to do any of that stuff.
But isn't that part of the actual experience of loading up an actual...
Watching Windows load and then launching the emulator?
Oh,
no, that is not part of it.
I was off. I thought you meant... I was lost. I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
By the way, they got Sam Coupe on there, and they've got the Acorn Archimedes core.
Now, what I would do is I would figure out some way to customize my SD cards even more so. I would print out labels that had that mimicked the storage media of the disk, and then I would just pull them out.
I've seen suckers take those SD cards and put them in like a shell gimmick.
Yeah.
And then they shove some.
Now you're talking. It's all about the ritual, man. It's all about the ritual.
How far are you from doing that to like dressing up like Mario or something and playing the game and going whoo, 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 and dancing around like an idiot while you're...
That's not canon.
I mean, you're going into a weird area when you do that. You've got to draw the line, man. And this may draw you over. That may be the ultimate secret plan. They want you to really lose it here. But I thought it was interesting. And if you're into old computers especially, these may be, you know, I mean, he breaks down the cost. You're looking at a couple hundred US dollary dues to get into this gimmick, right? That's a decent amount of money. And these things will only go so fast. They're not going to be playing, you know, PS2 on them or Dreamcast or whatever, you know, if that's your bag. But if for old computers, guys like us,
right?
You know, but I mean, again, I would like to see a video put together where someone compares them directly. You know what I'm saying? I'd like because I don't fully grasp. I'm sure on the lowest level there's a big difference, but I don't know how that translates into actually what you do.
That would be a good video to see. All right, Aaron. This is probably our longest. We've gone half an hour, 35 minutes.
I told Bud we got to get through this today.
Yeah.
I got people waiting at the house, so we come in here and stagger through. There you go.
Well, let's go ahead and move on out to this week's game, Zany Golf.
Woo, it's zany. So I got to ask you, I'm guessing, have you played this before this week?
Never.
Really?
Never.
Have you ever heard of it?
Never.
Because this got a lot of...
Well, yes, I heard of it because I thought this was that game that you played for the Lynx on ARG.
No.
Wasn't that called Zany Golf
No,
too?
that was called Hot Garbage. That was that thing Brent played.
I think that was called Zany Golf.
No. I played Ninja Golf. Now, that was awesome.
I like Ninja
Remember
Golf
that?
on the 7800, yeah. We did that in the episode 2 of ARG.
This one's not as good as the Ninja Golf. The golf's better, but that's about it. So, what you got here is Zany Golf, or for some, Will Harvey's Zany Golf.
Nobody calls it that.
It's on the side.
I'm Will Harvey.
It's on the
Good
side.
day.
I looked up Will. I'll get into him in a minute.
Is he related to Paul?
No.
Then I'm not interested.
That was your Paul Harvey impersonation? It's like this. This is Paul Harvey. Good day. That's the way he sounds. You were like, this is
that
Paul
the way he
Harvey.
sounds?
Good
Boy,
day.
you schooled me.
I did. Hey, go back and listen. The people will understand. So anyways, this came out in 1989. That's the year I graduated from high school, by the way. This was published by the big boys over at EA Boat. EA.
Yeah.
And developed by an outfit called Sandcastle. And I looked into Sandcastle. They've got exactly one other game.
What's that?
The Immortal.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a Hulk Hogan game either.
No, this was ported to the NES, the Immortal.
You've heard of the Immortal?
Yeah, it's a kind of a gothic. There's a skeleton. It's like a one-on-one fighting game. It's a weird thing.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm not.
How do I not know about this? We'll have to look into that. This is OCS. You know, it's pretty rudimentary. Now, this got it released on a bunch of different systems here, Boat, including a couple of your favorites. The Apple II GS got a port of this one, Boatster. The Atari ST, of course, DOS, which I played this on DOS and the Amiga. The Mega Drive / Genesis. Tandy. That's the one I played. It was on the old Tandy. And, of course, they had all the different CGA, EGA, blah, blah, blah.
Tandy graphics.
And, of course, you must, in '89, you got to put out a IBM PC Junior version. So if you're into the PC Junior.
What had the superior graphical capabilities, the PC Junior or the Tandy?
They were very similar, actually. They both had their own graphics mode. I think the Tandy was like 16 color. I think so was PC. But I'm no PC Junior expert, you know. But I know that it didn't do well. So there you go. Tandy did a lot better. So, and this was also released as part of a package deal, apparently, with the 500 Deluxe pack. You would get this if you were lucky enough to grab it. So, what is Zany Golf? Well, Zany Golf is a hilarious word for mini golf. This is your classic, or I guess they call it putt-putt golf, or I don't know if there's a world name for it that I don't know. Is there anything, that's about right?
Yeah, I don't know what they call it over there in Europe, but over here we call it putt-putt most of the time.
That's right, putt-putt golf. So, this is as straight up of a golf game as you could have. The opening screen is just, you think, man, I'm in for something. Because, I mean, at the time, I remember seeing this opening screen. I'm like, holy smokes, look at the graphics.
Yeah, it's very impressive title screen.
Yeah, it's this camera pans up this sign, and there's stuff spinning on it. It says Zany. It says Will Harvey Zany Golf, and it's almost like neon. There's just music playing.
Looks like a Vegas casino sign.
It does. It's like, and there's just like, this music playing. The music's, it's okay.
That's all right.
You know, and then it says 1 to 4 players, and you pick. So you can have up to 4 players playing, hot seat. It's golf.
Chat says in the UK it's crazy golf.
Crazy golf.
I like that.
That's better.
Yeah.
That's way better. Although Zany Golf, that sort of covers all your bases.
That's true. It's a catch-all term.
I like wacky golf.
I'm not surprised.
You get it because you're whacking the ball.
It is. It's a double entendre.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not.
Is it not?
I don't think that's what that means. So, you play a round of golf. Now, normally, how many holes is normally in a round of golf, Boatster?
18.
Right. Now, how many holes other than Zany Golf?
9.
Plus a mystery hole, right? So
that's over in Hawk's Nest.
And the mystery hole there is much cooler than the mystery hole in this game. So this game, instantly, you have half the amount of holes you would normally have in a golf game.
Although I think most mini golf courses are 9 holes. I don't think there's too many 18-hole mini golf
almost
courses.
all the ones I've ever played were 18 holes.
Really?
Yeah, including the one I just talked about earlier. 18 holes.
All right.
They're all 18 holes. Trust me. 9 holes. You could pay in top dollar for a 9-hole golf course. Screw that. It better be zany at that price. So, anyways, this is a straight up game of 9 holes of mini golf. Each hole has a gimmick. I do like that. When you put your number of players in, the first hole has the title screen comes up, the windmill. It'll be a beautiful picture of what the hole is. I mean, just a picture of like the gimmick of the hole. Then it'll kind of give you an overview of what the hole, what you're loading up, and then you play the hole. All right, simple. Now, this is a mouse game, so it would have qualified for point and click, I might add.
Yep.
It's the simplest interface in the history of golf. You put your arrow over the ball, you hold your mouse button down, you pull back the mouse as far as you want, and the further you pull back, the harder you're going to hit the ball. You kind of aim, you keep the mouse button down, you aim the ball, you let go of the mouse button, bam, the ball shoots off. That's it. That's the game. And you try to navigate these courses. Thoughts on the interface, the opening, anything?
The interface is fine. You know, I didn't have any trouble pulling the ball back. My biggest problem with controlling this game came from the fact that I was playing it on an emulator, and I was having trouble. My cursor, the Windows cursor, would not want to line up with my Amiga cursor. And the way that you see more of the course is you take your cursor and you drag it along the edge of the screen to show more of this. I had trouble with that.
Yeah.
Did you play this on the real 1200?
Yeah, I played it on both. In fact, I played on the real one until I saw your idea about save states. And I was like, well, screw this. And I played it on the stuff. I also played the DOS version of this. And since I've got a DOS machine, so I played that too. They're all very similar, I had to be honest with you. So let's go over some of these holes.
Okay.
We might as well go over them. So, and by the way, just to finish your thought, dragging the mouse around to see the course, a pain in the butt.
Yeah, I would have much rather had the arrow keys do that.
Or an overview key or something
like that.
Because it's slow. And this game is slow as part of the game.
Yeah.
So not as a quick game. So what you've got here on the first hole is the windmill hole. It even has the pars on it both. So it's par 2. This is the classic golf hole where you shoot up the ramp, there's a windmill, and you try to go into a little hole.
I guarantee you this first hole is not a par 2.
That's what this says, par 2. So, have you ever get it in the windmill hole?
Not once.
Not me either. It always goes to the little slot, and you hit the ball in.
Maybe it's a par 2 and they give you more strokes than the par is. Because they give you like 5 strokes.
You can get an extra stroke if you get it in the hole. So, which I never did. So some of these holes have gimmicks, which we'll get to. So then you've got the Hamburger Hole. I don't like this hole, to be honest with you. This hole is pretty simple. It's just sort of like a half rectangle.
Here's my theory on Hamburger Hole is that one of the art guys was like, boss, check out this cool hamburger I just rendered. Yeah. They're like, we're putting that in the game. We're going to call it Hamburger Hole.
My thing is the artist is like hungry.
It's a war movie too, right?
Hamburger Hole.
Yeah.
That's the battle that no one talks about right there. So anyway, in the Hamburger Hole, the gimmick is right over top of the hole is a huge hamburger, and you have to click the mouse button like an idiot to make this thing bounce up in the air, and you have to time the ball to go in the hole. And
it's really
ball of ketchup too.
It's a lame hole.
It's not that good. Then that's par 3. Then you've got walls. This is a pretty simple hole where you have to. There are 3 walls that pop up, and you want the ball to hit the 3rd wall. So you just time it to where you hit the 3rd wall, and then once you do that, it just goes down. And you put it in. Yeah. Pretty simple stuff there. Now this hole is infuriating. Pinball, par 3. This is a pinball machine.
See, I did this one first try.
I hated this table, and I'll tell you why. You literally have there's nothing to help you succeed. You can lose all your balls here just because you have nothing to do with it. All you do is launch the ball into the pinball machine, and so if the ball just goes out the out lanes and down the middle over and over, this is as rudimentary as a pinball machine gets. And there's no tilting the pinball machine or anything. You just sit there.
Untrue. Did you not read the directions?
I did.
If you rapidly click the mouse, then you'll nudge the table.
You can't. It doesn't help.
You just nudge it.
Let me tell you something. That nudge stung. This table, you just literally hope you pray to the pinball
this.
lord.
I like this level a lot.
I hated it. And this, like I said, this is a trend in this game. I didn't like it because you don't control your own fate. You got lucky a couple times. You tried.
I got skillful, is what.
Oh, you're killing me. So, anyways, the next.
This guy's playing a hole that I didn't have in the course.
This right here is this is that mystery hole.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So then you've got the fans. So in this level, it's a big, huge, mazy level with a bunch of fans. And what you've got to do is you've got to wiggle your mouse, and it makes the fan as it hit the button. Anyway, you do something with your mouse.
You go back and forth.
Yeah, and the fans will blow, and you need to blow the fans to blow your ball into position. Now, This one's not that hard unless you really have a rough go of
This is
it.
one of the only games that actually supports mouse waggling.
Yeah, you don't feel there's not a lot of waggling in the old mouse. But this hole's, again, it's interesting. It's different. I will say that. Then you've got the Magic Carpet. It's a par 2. This one, there's checkerboards all scattered throughout this mazy level, and when your ball's on them, you can kind of wiggle it around.
Well, it becomes like Marble Madness at that point.
Well, it's sorta, yeah, but I mean, it is, but it's sorta, but not as fun or good. And then you try to use the carpeting to manipulate your ball through the maze, and then get a hole. And on this one, if you get it quick enough, you get a bonus. Which I've never gotten that bonus. I don't know about you. Then you've got the castle. All right, this castle looks real intimidating, but it wasn't. I didn't think it was that tough.
No, this was seemed like a hole that should have come earlier in the ordeal.
Yeah, it's a par 3. You have to shoot the ball up this hill into this castle, and then it comes out this area, and then you have to get it under this thing, and you're in your hole. It's not that tough. Then you've got, now this is the hole that came straight from the Devil boat. My least favorite hole of all these holes, the Anthill, par 3. That's a joke. So this is basically, just picture a bunch of slopes up to a little like a mesa on top, and then when you get the ball up there, it's not a very big area, so often your ball will fall down, and the hole moves.
Right.
It just randomly moves around. So all that, you can just hope. Again, much like pinball, it's like you just hope you get lucky.
Absolutely.
Now when the ball comes down the hill, it'll go back into these 4 alcoves, and 3 of which have this like a bumper that you control, and you can knock the ball back up the hill. But I hated this hole. This is where I started using save states because I couldn't get past it. Yeah. Don't tell me I got this one in 2 strokes or whatever.
Nope. I was very close the first time I played it, and then 86 games later I finally did it.
And also these holes wear thin quick.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
They
right
lose
now.
their luster quite rapidly.
This is one of the problems of only having 8 holes or 9 holes. You need all those holes. That way you're like, I might try that fan hole again. They'll seem better if you tried 20 other holes.
There is no reason why they couldn't have just said, like California game style, play all the holes, play 1 hole, practice.
Right. Well, I guess that's the, replayability. Then you've got the final hole.
Let me tell you how much replayability was going on for most people in this game when they couldn't beat that hole. Straight to the trash replayability.
Yeah. So the last hole is called Energy, and this one takes place in sort of like a crazy haunted lab or something. That we're going to go with lab.
Yeah.
And your goal in this one is you have to hit a button that turns off a machine, and then you have to hit the ball into like a mouse hole. I think it's how I got. That's what it looked like.
No, you've got to hit it into the triangular.
Oh, that's right.
Protuberance.
You hit it into this.
Triangular protuberance.
Yeah, that's right. And it comes out the top, and at the top there's a bunch of other holes you have to get past.
And there's false holes.
Yeah, and they put you back down. That's what that was. So anyway, this hole sucked. I used save states at the yin yang, and I never got past it. Did you ever get past this one?
Yeah, I beat the game.
Yeah, I never beat it. I never beat this. I never got past. I've never gotten past it, even when I owned the game back in the day.
Now, are you going to talk about the hidden level?
The hidden level, which I've only seen video of, is sort of a breakout style.
Do you know how you access the hidden level?
I don't, but it's a blade on me, man.
So, according to Ricky DeRocher in the chat, you have to
he would know.
You have to hit the ball into the mouse hole when the mouse's eyes are showing.
Oh God, I didn't know there was any mouse in there.
Yeah.
Well, I'll never get there.
There you go.
So there you go. I think there's a code or something you can click in to see the last hole, but because I read that in the cheats, but I never got there to try it. So. There you go. So effectively, that last hole, you're never going to get there.
No.
So it basically might as well not exist, right? Why not just make another hole, or maybe
why not just let you play the holes in the order that you want, or practice 1 hole,
or at least put out a cheat to let you do it. So those are your holes. Those are your holes, vote. Now, give me your overall thoughts. We mention that each hole has its own little unique tune, which some are better than others.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, the last level's music makes you want to tear your eyes out, and it's not even.
It's not my favorite.
It's the worst. It's the worst. The rest of the tunes are okay.
Yeah.
They're fine. They're serviceable.
Yeah.
This game on the whole. The holes, some of the holes are too hard, some of the holes rely way too much on luck, but hey, guess what? So do most mini golf courses. Mini golf's all about luck. I don't have a problem with some cheapness going on as long is you don't make the game so unfair that to punish you for things that you have no control over. Again, my main problem with this game is that you can't select holes just to play. You know, I have no problem with being like, okay, you're going to play for real, saving your score. There's no. Once it's game over, it's game over. But let me see all the holes. Let me just practice them, so when I get to them, that way, when I'm trying to get my best score possible, I actually have a shot. I'm not just trying to survive.
So but overall, you like the game?
Yeah, I don't think this is a bad game at all. In fact, this is probably one of the best mini golf games there are on classic systems.
I didn't like this game.
Okay, tell me a mini golf game that's better than this.
Well, I can tell you two, but I can't tell you their name.
One of those.
I played one on the Coca that I like. But listen, is this the most beautiful mini golf game? Yes, by far. The other games are very plain Jane, but they're just more fun as a golf game. They also have more holes. This game, some of these levels. Have you ever played a game called what's this? There's this motorcycle game I had for the Xbox that where it starts out it's just like you're a guy on a motorcycle jumping dirt, you know.
No, are you
going
talking about it's like the
you know, it's almost like a puzzly.
Yeah, Trials.
And at first you're like, oh, this is fun. I'm going fast. I'm going over ramps. But at some point along the way, it transforms into this bizarre, hyper difficult, almost like a puzzle game.
It's a puzzle
right?
game, yeah.
And at that point, I'm just like, it's not as much fun to me. I just like to go fast and jump stuff. This game starts out as a golf game, and at the end, it's morphed into something else, something stupid. Like there's no golf levels that are like this. And it's funny because this was a game I played quite a bit in my day, so I could just be sick of it, you know, from back in the day. But I did not like it playing it this time. It was frustrating. It irritated me. I didn't like it. It just didn't do it for me. And I thought the levels were not even fun to replay. They just weren't that fun to me. And also, when you're doing stuff like fans and the carpet and stuff, those aren't even skilled levels. And pinballs, there's no skill. Like, part of playing putt-putt is you're putting as a skilled putter. You're like, okay, I can improve my skill. Well, how the hell are you going to improve your skill like anthill and stuff? There's no way.
Yeah,
it's just random.
That's a valid point.
You know, it's all random, you know. So I didn't do it for the music. Again, is okay. You know, it's funny. Just to clean up some stuff before we move on. I was reading here. I looked at some write-ups on this, and they were saying that the musical score in this was originally made for the Apple II GS. Mm-hmm. Okay, apparently it's real elaborate. I should have listened to it. So when they ported this to other stuff, the music stunk. The DOS version is crap. It just comes out the speaker, and the Amiga version only uses 4 voices instead of like they just cut out a ton of other parts. So the music probably could have been a lot better, but it's just kind of got lazy on them. Something else I wanted to mention.
Lazy programming in an Amiga port?
Well, no, I mean all the ports.
Unthinkable.
All the ports were lazy. This was called Will Harvey's Zany Golf. Who the heck's that? You're probably asking. I looked it up. Will Harvey was a software developer. I know you're stunned. And get this. Amongst his claims to fame, he wrote music construction set for the Apple II, which I've heard of, and I'm sure you've heard of.
Another
that
EA game.
He also, believe it or not, he ported over Marble Madness.
That's funny. I actually own that game. Look right there. See it on the music
there you
construction
go.
set.
Well, you
right
own this guy's game.
Yeah.
Now, what are they? Now, see, you didn't know that, did you?
No. His name's not plastered on the top of it like it does on this game.
When he wrote that, he didn't have as much jack as he had when he did Zany
He was
Golf.
jacked up on this game.
He's went on to do a bunch of different game stuff. And eventually, in case you were wondering what happened to Sandcastle, for whatever reason, because they only had the 2 games, they got bought by Adobe.
Wow.
I thought was
That's wacky.
I know. I thought that was particularly goofy. But, you know, like I said, the sound, the graphics pretty good. The gameplay, overall, That's my thoughts on it. That's all I can say.
Okay.
Anything else to add?
Why don't you see what did the reviews say?
Well, they were kinder than I would say. So, and by the way, this game's available to download for free. I should mention that, so I'll give them that. Amazing, let's see here. Amiga Action 16, number 16, gave this 81%. I'd say that's in the meh category.
81?
Yeah. Amiga Computing loved this. They gave it a 95. Antics Amiga Plus. I don't think we ever mentioned that one before. 2 out of 5.
I wonder if that's affiliated with the Antic magazine.
I don't know. I was wondering that myself. The AUI Australian Mag, 6 out of 10. CU Commodore gave it an 80%. So with the exception of that 95, you had some, mid-range scores. Yeah, Midland, exactly, man. I looked this up on the eBay just for fun. You can get this thing if you just want the disc, $7, $10, and if you want the box copy, $20, and it's yours. The box is weird looking. I don't like the box art either. Did I mention
it's
that?
one of the LP covers, right?
I don't think so.
The box looked square to me.
It looked goofy to me. It's the art. It didn't do it for me. So so you like this more than me.
Well, let's talk about what our Discord folks said. Chris Fold says, Zany Golf takes Zany to its heart with the crazy courses from the bouncing burgers, fans, magic carpets, and the incredibly hard pinball level. In its day, it was revolutionary, offering something different not found on 8-bit, and as such, I have fond memories of the game. Terribly dated graphics, sounds, and controls do it no favors in 2019, however, with its flaws all too apparent.
Yep.
6.5 out of 10.
Ooh.
Graham W. Vebke says, Mini golf as a computer game is going to be a challenge, and it attempts to make it more interesting with unconventional hole design. The isometric perspective, however, makes it difficult to aim accurately, and if you shoot over par, you can't retry the hole. You restart the course.
That's brutal.
Mini holes I only completed with luck rather than skill, making this a colorful but frustrating experience. 4 out of 10.
Yep.
Lobsterminator says, decent game for 1988 with nice graphics, but doesn't stand the test of time. Poor frame rate makes the gameplay feel sluggish. You would expect a game as static as this to run really smooth. Hole-in-One from the same year is my preferred Amiga Mini Golf. 5 out of 10.
Ooh,
We'll have to
try
give that
that
one a shot.
one.
Yeah. Pixels at Dawn says, a pretty enough game with appealingly twee music throughout, and one of the first I remember to use mechanics that wouldn't be possible in real life. No one forgets the hamburger. No one forgets the hamburger.
Ooh.
Fond memories of multiplayer, but unfortunately very unforgiving, meaning many of us never saw all 10 holes, and not a good value at all at full price. 6.5 out of 10. And finally, Free Lunch says, Zany Golf, a favorite from the old days, but in retrospective, very difficult to control on an original A500 Plus. Still, spent many hours at it. Great concept, nutty artwork, 8 out of 10.
Looks like most people are sort of the same mind that I was.
Yeah, and you're not wrong. I would not have enjoyed this nearly as much without the save states.
Yeah.
The save states take some of the sting out of the randomness.
I will say I did enjoy this a lot more when it was newer. So I think that was, again, we try to judge these things given the fact that these are ancient. But I played this a lot back in the day, and I was still frustrated then, but I did play it a lot. So I guess that means something.
Yeah. Let's move on to our Patreon song competition.
Oh boy.
So it's been 2 weeks since our last supporter song. And if you recall, this was a mega mix where there was a 2-pronged challenge.
Yeah.
Not only were you tasked to identify the 3 songs, but to tie them all together with the artist. Pixels at Dawn guessed some of the songs correctly, but didn't get the big win. However, Dreamcatcher, actually maybe Pixels did, I can't remember, it's been so long, but Dreamcatcher, I know, got it right off the bat with the big win. And Pack Billy guessed it was Horse with No Name, Tin Man, and Ventura Highway by America.
I should mention before you kick off the new, whatever you're going to sing this time, listening to Pixel Gaydon's show.
Do they do a supporter song challenge?
They did
too?
this week.
Oh.
They did one. And it was 3 notes. So they got 3 supporters. And they got it. I couldn't believe he did guess the song.
I'm glad I've started something.
No, I couldn't tell if there was an homage or just straight up comedy. But I thought that was cute. So,
all right. So if you know this week, and by the way, if you like the show and you want to support it, visit our page at everythingamiga.com/support. You can support us on Patreon or via PayPal. All right. Oh, and happy 34th birthday, Amiga. Amiga turned 34 last week.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. We should have mentioned it on the thing.
Yes.
Now we get it.
All right. Here we go.
Oh God. I hate when you do that.
Sometimes I got to get my neck right.
Is that what you're
how it
doing?
is?
My God, I thought you were trying to swallow a cue ball.
Deckard, Threepwood, Gary, Heather, Free Lunch, Kate Fox, David Pickford, Cameron Armstrong, Andy Jones, Lobsterminator, Craig McClellan, 10 Minute, Mika Retrocast, Counting Virtual Sheep, Bernard Quinn, Retro Man Cave, Tim Drew, Simon Rose, Joseph Harrison, Kyle Edarabo, Hera Howard, Nims, Matthew Larimore, Andy Craig, Shanzo, Darren Lomax, Colin 419. Oh, it's hard to do. Barkbit, Roland Burke, Andrew Monks, Joe the Zombie, John Cook, Dan Ross, Leaf Kalan, Alan Kebab, Chekote, Levalor, John Marshall, Matthew Perron, Ricky DeRocher, Creepy Dead Boy, Figgy CTC, The Slow Norris, Stafford Swargord, Barnson, Edmund Helen, Blender 75, Christopher Hassel, Ravi Abbott, Chris Foles, Dreamcatcher, Lord Giroux, Graham Vebke, Lane Denson, Adam Battersby, Brian's Retro and Vintage, Gary Hucker, C. Brian Jones, Paul Harrington, Duncan Stiles, Tapes from the Crib, Josh Nan, Adam Bradley, Jonas Ruler, THT, Eric Nelson, Kim, Tommy, Humberstad, Daniel Bingston, Brutal Barracuda, Darren Coles, Jason Warren's Pixels at Dawn, and Kjolbjorn Barman.
Oh man, you remember the first edition D&D? Everything had a chart, all right? Everything, Wandering Monster chart, your feelings, what's happening at night. That sounded like you took a D20 and you rolled on the tone chart, and then you rolled on the note chart, and just rolled 400 times, and just whatever it came up, that's what you sang. I couldn't see any song there, any sort of structure. That seemed as random as I've ever heard. If anyone gets that one, I will personally give them a salute.
All right.
There's a 0% chance that one's getting picked out.
All right. Well, we'll see. Next week, Aaron, we're going to play a little Woody's World.
Little Woody's World?
Little's not part of it.
Oh.
Just a little bit. A little bit of Woody's World.
Freudian slip, right? Woody's World?
Yeah.
Is this about Woody Woodpecker?
It's party time. It's excellent.
Oh, huh? Oh, I get it.
All right.
I'm so slow. The song got to me.
Thanks as always to all the fine folks watching us live on the YouTube. Pixels at Dawn, Necrodom, Barkbit, Picard 2005, Fabi Cyrile, Retro Man Cave, Jason Plevin, Michael Ryan, UK Retro Gamer. Thank you guys so much for watching us live. We do record this show live every Friday at around 5:30. If you'd like to join us, we'd love to have you, and we'll be back next week with more Amiga action. Until then, adios.